What happens if a player pops positive, though? What is the plan for that? Because we know about asymptomatic, and you want to talk about the plan having some holes. Come on. What I'm hearing is from people, certainly on both sides, wondering if there are some 22, 23-year-olds who feel like that they are, asymptomatic and thus superhuman. That might go out and visit a bar, go out and bring hundreds of more vectors into somebody's clubhouse or, row or seat or something like that, Jeff.
Rich, that's not just possible. That's going to happen.
Right.
Like there's an inevitability to someone testing positive here. There are just too many people and too much money and too much ego and too much hubris to contain people for as long as you would need to in order to create that bubble. And so I think that there's going to be a positive test. The way that MLB's protocol is written out is that person gets quarantined and is going to be tested every day. And when he or she has 2 consecutive negative tests, is showing no symptoms and has the go-ahead from a team physician or another doctor, that person can return. And that could be as early as 7 days. Now, the typical standard quarantine period we're used to is 14 days, but MLB says that its experts tell them that 7 days with those other things is enough. And I would love to walk around asking people to call me Dr. Passan because I earned my medical degree, but I did not. So I have absolutely no idea whether that's right or wrong and have a tough time sitting here questioning it.
Hey, man.
What I will say is that I think all of us, Rich, have to get used to the idea of there being some very uncomfortable things in all of our futures. Even the experts, even the ones who do have MD after their names, don't exactly know the way that this is going to play out. They have a better idea than us, but they don't really know. So there are going to be mistakes that are made. There are going to be screw-ups. There are going to be points if baseball comes back at which people think to themselves, should they really have done this? And the answer may well be no. But the answer may also well be yes. And that's what I'm hoping that we can do. Allow this thing as much as possible, as long as large swaths of people are not getting ill because of it, to play itself out, because that's all we're all trying to do on a daily basis.
And you're right. I think the testing aspect is crucial to show that we can do it. And one thing that definitely struck me in your article is that the 26 major league cities baseball is going to include in their free testing people who are on the front lines who may be looking for a test, trying to get a test. Like they're going to share their tests with people on the front lines battling COVID-19 in each city.
Every healthcare worker in pretty much in every major metropolitan area in the United States can get a COVID test for free through MLB. That's essentially what the league is saying.
That really struck me, as well as, they're going to remove baseballs that I guess are at any point put in play, right? I mean, because that would mean somebody would touch it, delivering it to the plate, and then someone would touch it, delivering it either back into the infield because it was hit safely or to first base. And then that would be, it really is overwhelming, but it's possible. None of it. You sat there saying this is impossible. None of it I read was saying that this is beyond the realm of possibility.
Individually, nothing is impossible. Collectively, it's hard. It's really hard. And some of it, Rich, some of it's overkill. But it's overkill. It's purposeful overkill. It's overkill with the idea that there are going to need to be health commissioners in every city they try and go to who are going to have to say, yes, we will allow you to play. And if you're coming at them with a detailed 67-page, more when it's done, document about all of the things you're going to do to ensure that COVID does not spread around, it's a pretty great place to start just from a moral authority standpoint. We want to do this, and we are going to put our time, effort, and money behind sketching out as good of a proposal as you will see.
Yeah, and again, you know, that I hope, just I guess to bring this full circle here, isn't another one of the hang-ups that's going to go down in the negotiations between players and Major League Baseball. It's just like, no spitting, huh? I mean, am I going to get fined $300 every single time? You know, if ESPN catches me spitting on the ground because, you know, I forget where I am, or things have actually been created in a bubble community so well that the players forget where they are and they just feel normal. Like, I hope that everyone understands, like, we're putting this on a piece of paper for a reason, and if we can follow this all the way to the letter, we will keep you safe. But let's all just do this, put it on a piece of paper, and then figure it out as best we can to go along, so we can all sit there and see this thing. But then again, I'm not the one who's suiting up. You know what I mean? And that is, I guess, the essential aspect of this, Jeff.
And that's you know what, that's the thing that we have to keep in mind here. As much as we want to say, and as much as people's instincts can be, this is too much, don't even bother. If the players say, we want to play, we want to do this, we're willing to, shouldn't they try to play? Like, I don't know. It just seems like if the players are on board and if the teams are on board, it's a good place to start. And if they're going to do this as responsibly as an entity of their size can, then I have a difficult time understanding the argument saying just shut it down until next year. Why? Because it's complicated? Why? Because it's hard? It's America, man. We love doing complicated things and hard things, and we fail at it a lot, but we go down swinging, and that's what baseball, if nothing else, needs to do this year. That's
the JFK, again, I'll keep saying, I said it yesterday, that we go to the moon, we choose to go to the moon, not because it's easy, but because it is hard, and this is a lot of moonshots right here, from creating a vaccine to obviously trying to return sports. And I think everyone's going to give it a try. I know the NFL's not sitting here thinking in May, we're not going to give this a try and let's figure this thing out, as they're going to keep an eye on everybody else.
I'll tell you what, though, Rich, and I say this knowing that you spent a lot of time thinking about the NFL, talking about the NFL.
Yep.
At the end of reading through this thing, one of the first thoughts in my head was, I have no idea how football is going to come back if these are the sorts of restrictions on a sport that is already naturally socially distanced.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.